What up, guys? Welcome back to the Door 59 channel here. Here we look at a mix of new releases and figures that have been around for a bit. And whether you're new to the hobby or not, or you've been collecting for a few years now, the goal here is pretty simple. We take an honest look at the figure and figure out if it's worth owning or not. And if you guys are into figure photography, it's a big part of what I do. You can follow me on door.59 on Instagram. And let's dive into this guy here. So here we have a figure that I know very little about. He's an overall amazing looking figure, and we'll put him to the side there. And so we'll just show you the box quick here. And let's dive in. So I'm taking him off the stand here, and overall, like initial impressions when you see this guy, in my opinion, like he looks great. He's a bit of a larger body. They didn't miss out on any of his muscle mass. And he was the first Yamaguchi figure that I got that came with a cape, and I thought it was really well done. So let me go ahead here and see if we can remove his cape. Okay, so good news, bad news. Bad news, you cannot remove his cape. The like front piece of plastic here, like even when you remove his head, it's glued in, it seems. But the good news is he looks great with it. So I'll give you kind of a 360 here. We'll lift the cape. Even though he does wear a cape, they did get some details in the back. And then some details in the legs. And I don't think it's really picking up on camera here, but he's not just a slab of gray paint. I'm seeing two different types of paints being used. It's most prevalent here in the thigh. You can see a gray shade there, and then kind of a darker gray there. More in person, the darker gray here kind of comes off with a pearlescent kind of look, like a kind of a range of different grays, while this is a little bit more of a flat gray to it. But it works for him. And I guess the other color you would have is white in the middle there, and of course his cape and his hood. As for articulation, we have the pretty standard AY joints that you would come to expect here. In the elbows here, you're going to have the ball and hinge joint. In the shoulder, you're finding the newer kind of double ball joint. Like the top piece here, you see the line in it where my thumb is, the ball and joint, but then in the shoulder itself, it's just a ball joint. And in the neck area, actually, let me see. In the neck area, you have a ball joint. This piece does remove, which looks good, kind of just covers some of the gappage. In the waist here, we have a double ball peg for some good movement, some good range of motion. That's bending forward. I think that's about it. Oh, no. Yeah, bending forward all the way and then bending backwards. Yeah, a ton of range. All while not having little to no gaps. Most figures would have a giant gap there, so that's a very little amount, and you're probably never even going to have them in that kind of pose. Going down to the hips, pretty standard. We have the ball peg in the upper thigh, then we have the thigh swivel here, which is going to give you the range of motion you're looking to kind of accomplish that split look, if that's what you're going for. And then in the knee, Yamaguchi figures have stopped doing the ball and hinge joint and are more just on the hinge joint. And so you can see there, his knee does come up, or his leg does come up as much as you need it. Again, with these knee caps, these knee pads, I just don't see why they add them in. Like, obviously when it's down, it looks good. But when it's bent up, it's kind of this floating little like knife that sticks out. Just kind of like over engineering. But I just don't see the need for this piece here. But getting down to the ankle, or actually let's get to the thigh first. Again, this hinge that you kind of come to expect that can rotate that way, which just gives you, if you're into figure photography, you love these things. Because for example, that's as far as the leg would bend back. But then with that little piece, you just get a little bit more motion there. I never know how these work. I don't know what kind of joint they're on, if they're supposed to swivel or not, and I never mess with them. I don't want to break them. And getting down to the ankle here, pretty nice ankle rocker. I think as much as you're going to need. And then the toe hinge goes up nice, pretty flush with the like the boot print there. and the toes go down too. And then the ankle goes forward and back. And I forgot to mention the butterfly joint in his shoulders here, which is kind of interesting. It's actually connected at the bottom. Most butterfly joints are kind of in the middle or maybe a little towards the top, but his is connected towards the bottom. You see, he can get the range of motion to bring his arm across his shoulder, or if you have him more in kind of like a dominating kind of flight position there, he looks good. And if you bring the shoulders forward, kind of like that, ready to fight look. As for accessories, you're going to get these directions in the box. Again, the back is blank on these. And then you get 5 extra sets of hands, not including the ones he's wearing, 2 head sculpts, 2, and here you're going to find out quickly that how little I know about him, 2 moon throwing items. At the bottom right there, those pieces are to go on his collar for just kind of a different display, a different look. And at the bottom, he has 2 small individual staffs and then 1 large staff. And then these 2 silver pieces here are to go on his belt. And then this way you can click in the staff pieces. So I'll show you a few of these accessories in action here. So these are the pieces that I mentioned go up on his hood. So you see there's a little hole there for them to go into. And it actually does kind of add a pretty cool layer to his cape. Okay, I installed most of the accessories I was looking to do here. So I mentioned this staff here. It's really just a solid piece of white plastic. I think that's fine. I don't think it needs any kind of like paint applications. Again, I don't know what the source material in this looks like, but if anything, if you're looking for details in it, you see these 2 grooves, a couple of grooves here and on both ends as well. I was able to get these shoulder pieces installed. And so not entirely sure what these are meant for, but they do kind of give them some extra depth with the cape. They're probably not something I would display them in. I just don't see the reason. Okay, this one popped off, but that's how this one I was having a hard time connecting. I think I would have to probably put this in hot water to get it in there. Surprisingly, this one did go in pretty nicely though. And just so you can kind of see how it does work if you're looking to flap it, I guess that's what it's for. Maybe, yeah, if he's like, maybe if he's in a flying pose where he's jumping down, you could use it to go up like that. Maybe it helps keep the cape down. I'm not sure because the cape doesn't really have an issue staying down, but that's what that is. And then the 2 plastic pieces I mentioned, they install on his back, and then you can connect both of his staffs, the mini staffs, to his waist. They're not the tightest connection. My bottom one here is pretty loose, so you could tell, just barely touching it, but the top one's going to hold no problem. Now I'll show you how to replace the head swaps. He's actually, I already got him kind of started here. He's missing the neck piece. So you start by taking the head off here, and it's not the easiest thing in the world. If you can see, there's 2 steps left now to change his faceplate. So this ball here you see, you need to pull that towards you like this way. That needs to come out. So the easiest way I was kind of able to do that was pulling on his face and then pulling down. And like I even got it started off screen. It took a little bit, but I got there. But you can see it's not the easiest thing, but it comes out. And then now you have this piece here, and you want to pull the face off that. I mean, I haven't changed his face in a couple of years, so maybe it's stuck, but I feel like these always come like pretty tough like that. I guess it's better than falling off, but okay. And then so for the faces, what we do have is kind of a bit of an angry look here. I'll get the light on it better. Kind of an angry look, which is the one I was using. A bit more of a maybe surprise look. And then the last one, still angry. What's the difference between these 2? I guess one's kind of angry than the other. But I'll switch it to this one here. This a little bit less angry. And then this guy goes, I think, yeah. And then I'll put his neck piece back here. And then that's the head swap. Luckily, the heads aren't that crazy that you need to swap them out too much. And so this is Moon Knight. I do think it's an awesome figure. Overall, I'd probably give it an 8.5 out of 10. I think it absolutely gets the job done. He looks great when you pose him. Tons of flexibility that you'd expect from an AY. But yeah, if you have any questions on them, do let me know. Guys, I appreciate it. As always, I have an Instagram, door.59, where I post a lot of toy photography. Feel free to check that out. Send me your photos. I love just kind of engaging with the community, seeing what people are making. People come up with a lot of creative stuff. So thanks, guys. See you next time.